So this is my new mattress. It's from a company called Leesa, spelled Leesa, and it's a UK-based company who make their mattresses in Derbyshire. They have a very similar model to a lot of other companies out there at the moment. Online-only presence, selling one mattress with a 100-day money-back guarantee, and all saying you only need to have one mattress. Obviously, producing one mattress is economies of scale for them. They can produce more mattresses at a lower price, and again, that means they're going to sell more. And they all mostly describe themselves as 6 to 7 on the firmness scale. So the firmness scale, yes, of course, there is no firmness scale, but they've just made one up called 1 to 10, and so it doesn't really mean anything. It's obviously going to give you a general idea. They're saying it's not medium, it's not firm, it's in between. It's going to suit everybody apparently. Actually, the normal way to measure how a foam mattress is going to feel, first of all, it's impossible to do because there's so many factors that actually affect how it feels, not least the heat and humidity of where it is going to change. But the two main measurements that you use as a basis to get a general idea of what you've got would be the density being how much a certain amount of that foam weighs. In this case, the top layer is described as 3.6 pounds per cubic foot, or 50 kilos per cubic meter. So a cubic meter of that would weigh 50 kilos. That's a medium to high density. That's quite a good density for, I mean, they do go up to about 75 for the really good ones, but that's not a bad weight. The other measurement for the feel is the ILD rating, which is the indentation load deflection. That's why they call it ILD, because you're not going to be saying that many times, are you? So how do they measure that? So that is normally, if you take a block of foam 15 inches by 15 inches by 4 inches high, how much weight does it take to compress that by 25% or down to 3 inches from 4 inches? The amount of weight it takes to do that, they then use that to make a scale against which you can measure how firm or soft it feels. In general, it's not that accurate. The top layer on this one has an ILD rating of 20 to 26, which is on the softer side. So it's a reasonable density and on the softer side for a foam. So, you know, sounds good for a top layer. So what are the layers? So they've got a polyester lycra cover, a thin stretchy cover that goes around the top. Look, they all seem really into how the cover looks. Pushing it, you know, you're gonna have sheets on it, aren't you? I don't really get the big deal with how it looks, but anyway, they have a classy, classic look. They say it does look quite modern. I'll give you that. But and like I had the Eve mattress, which is a nice yellow, but you're gonna cover it up. Doesn't matter. The top layer is Avena foam. So what is Avena foam? They probably tried to make it sound like latex, but what is it? It is polyfoam. Polyfoam is a 100% synthetic product. It's a cheap product to try and mimic latex. Latex is 100% natural. It comes from the rubber tree. So latex is an expensive product. That's why you get it on high-end mattresses and not on the budget end like this. Why, if it's a polyfoam, why do they call it Avena? Well, you'll find, again, all these companies do something similar. Because they have their own proprietary way of mixing and blending the pouring of the foam during the process, depending on how they do it, they can come up with a patented method of doing that, and then they give it a name. Therefore, Avena foam you will only find in the Leesa mattress because it's their blend. That's the way they pour it. But it's still polyfoam. It's still 100% synthetic. It's not as good as latex, but that's why it's a cheaper mattress. Something that has annoyed me, there is another guy doing a lot of mattress reviews. He seems to be the go-to for mattress reviews, is if you use Google, because you end up with him. And I've got to ask, why is it he claims the Venofoam is more durable than latex? Because a lot of people are going there, reading that, and they're believing that. Because it isn't, is it? It's polyfoam. Polyfoam is less durable than latex. You can get high quality polyfoams, but against a true 100% latex, because a lot of the people out there do latex blends where it's not 100% natural, it's a true 100% latex. It's gonna not be, it isn't as durable. You can do any amount of research, go on Google Scholar, find out where they do the proper research. It is less durable than the latex. It's not terrible, but there's a reason why they use polyfoam is out there, because it's a cheaper method of mimicking latex. Latex has many other advantages, not least that because this is synthetic, you often hear about the off-gassing of the smell you get, which is called off-gassing on a new mattress. That's the chemicals being released. You don't get that with latex because it hasn't got any chemicals. It's from the rubber tree. Latex also has less heat retention, less moisture retention, and makes it a healthy environment to be sleeping. It doesn't make the polyfoam terrible, but they don't call it polyfoam, and they try and make it sound like it's something amazing. So just to let you know, it's polyfoam, but it's a decent polyfoam at the end of the day. And it's 5 centimeters deep, which is 2 inches, and I said it's 50 kilos per cubic meter. So a cubic meter would weigh 50 kilos. Middle layer is memory foam, again synthetic product, and it's going to give the mattress its molding properties. So whereas the polyfoam is more responsive, polyfoam is actually more responsive, interestingly, than latex. Latex is more contouring, whereas the polyfoam does spring back. It's got a more springy feel, means it doesn't retain the body shape as long as latex does. The memory foam, again, even longer, will hold on to that body shape. So it's going to give the mattress its contouring properties. So that middle layer of memory foam is also 5 centimeters deep, 2 inches, and it's also 50 kilos per cubic meter. So that's a reasonable density. The bottom layer is 15 centimeters of normal foam. So obviously that's where the main support comes from, but it's just a normal foam. And altogether that's 25 centimeters for the whole mattress, and that's a 10-inch deep mattress. Just before I do the unboxing, I went to the website and I did some reading, and I got some quotes that they come up with. I always find this amusing, how they do their marketing. So first of all, built with premium materials for a better night's sleep. So, that's a bit loose with the premium description. I think latex would be a more premium material. So they're reasonable. It's a reasonable configuration for a budget mattress, but premium materials for a better night's sleep. The Leesa mattress is completely redesigned from the inside out. Redesigned. So this company came to the market in 2013. There was already companies out there selling online 100-day money-back guarantees and multi-foam layers. So redesigned from the inside out, it means nothing, does it? What does that mean? They weren't the first. It's not unique. It's just another configuration. So redesigned means that never designed to start with. I'm being picky, but these are the things that amuse me. Designed from the inside out with a universal adaptive feel to provide the cooling, contouring and core support everybody needs to sleep better. Universal adaptive feel. So they're trying to say it suits everybody. It's universal. It adapts to everybody. But so it's premium materials, universally adaptive. It sounds great, except that they actually sell another mattress, but they sell it under a different brand name. It's the Superior mattress. As far as I can see, it's only sold in the USA, and that is a pocket sprung hybrid mattress. So pocket sprung and memory foam, or maybe latex to be quite honest, but it's a hybrid mattress. And that is more expensive is a more luxurious mattress in their description. Obviously, they're trying to target the higher end, so they're trying to target budget end with this one, higher end with that one. But they can't have it both ways. They can't both be the one mattress that you need, can it? But I mean, fair enough. You're trying to sell, fair enough. You're trying to market it, but I just find it amusing because it's nonsense at the end of the day. As long as you know, it doesn't make it a bad mattress. It may be the world's most, for me, it may be the most comfortable mattress. Talking about the world's most comfortable mattress, that's the other thing that amuses me. So I had a while back an Eve mattress. Now Eve described their mattress as the world's most comfortable mattress. How can they possibly make that claim? They seem to make it on the basis of their Amazon reviews. So they seem to be saying because they have the best Amazon reviews, that makes it the world's most comfortable. I mean, that's a hell of a claim. You think they'd have to back it up in some way, but they don't. But anyway, that's the intro to that. Also, would point out that this is an EU single, but I'm 6 foot. Personally, on the UK sizes, I find my feet slipping off the end of the bed. I'm really restless sleeper, and I'm always all over the bed. I don't know anybody really from 5'10" over sleeps on a UK one. So not all the companies out there do the EU sizes. I have to say, Leesa are one of them. Well, they've only just come out with the EU sizes, but at least they are now doing the EU sizes, which is great for me. IKEA used to do the EU. I can't believe they've now stuck to just the UK sizes, but they must know what they're doing. Maybe they knew we was going into Brexit before we did. Anyway, enough about that. I'm going to do the unboxing. So it's going to be compressed and vacuum packed. All these online companies are doing the same things. It's because they are easier to transport. But there is a trade-off again, because they need a foam that is suitable to be compressed. The higher end foam, the higher end latex, they are less amenable to compressing, which is a reason why true premium mattresses do not come compressed, because it will affect the first of all, you can't do that with all foams, and they will say it affects, you know, the quality, it affects some of the properties of the mattress. So that's something else to bear in mind. They will all come vacuum packed. Even the IKEA ones do. So I'm now doing the unboxing. We've got sellotape around the top. Not too badly bashed about. Some of these boxes can be really bashed up when they get to you, and this one is in reasonable shape. Interestingly, it says on the website to allow 5 to 10 days for delivery, business days, because they have to prepare the mattress and compress it, and it all takes time. In other words, they're trying to say they don't store them compressed, and it all has to be prepared. So the day after I ordered it, they said it was dispatched. I did ask them how that's possible when you say it takes all that time. They said, well, sometimes we're able to do that. It'd be interesting to hear from other people whether they got theirs the next day or they really had to wait 5 to 10 days while it was being prepared. So here we go. I guess I should have just tipped it out. Maybe this is easier. Anything in the box? No, that's an empty box. So we're just going to cut this open. So there's clearly a bit extra of this stuff. I'm not sure that's where I'm supposed to be cutting from. Let's get it the right way around. It's going to go anyways. So this is coming straight off. I'm surprised that I'm not seeing one just rip off. I'm not sure what's going on here. There's the mattress. Still in. Right, that's the top. So I'm going to play around with this. Of course, it would be more awkward with the double. And now, so this is the exciting bit where you sit or decompress. Now, there's no information, but I've read online that they say like 3 to 4 hours before it gets to a reasonable size. 1 complete day before it's going to be how it's going to feel for the rest of the time. Go for it. So it feels quite nice, but I'm going to put a protector over that anyway. Anyway, though, it is a bit boring, isn't it? So we're talking like greys, blue, light blue, white stripes. How much imagination was there in that, really? I don't know how they come up with this brand from some of these companies. It's not that heavy. I've certainly had heavier mattresses. Probably because the base layer is not that heavy. It's not that dense. 35 kilos. 35 kilos per cubic meter. Which will be completely removable. So a few companies actually do a washable cover. I just don't get that at all. So we've got a zip. What's it say? I have to. It looks like it's iron steam only, but it seems weird, doesn't it? Let's see it. Inflate. I know fully inflated it's 10 inches, so it's going to be, it's a little bit, so we're just over 9 inches, so 1 more inch and we're there. Okay, so I made a bit of a mistake by saying there was no information in the box. It turns out the information was on the box. So on the lid of the box is 5-step instructions, which you might miss if you're like me and you're just ripping the box apart. And on the top it does say about carrying your box, carry your Leesa box to wherever you intend to sleep and unbox it on its side. Set the Leesa mattress in place and remove the outer plastic. Unroll and unfold the mattress and tear away the inner plastic wrap. Watch your Leesa expand and take shape. Note, wrinkles or any slight harmless odour will soon dissipate. In an hour, your bed will feel good. In a day, it will feel great. So those are the total of the instructions with the mattress.